In a quiet study filled with sunlight and dust motes, nestled within an old wooden cup on a cluttered desk, lived a pencil named Pebble. Unlike the sharp, eager pencils surrounding him, Pebble felt different. His point wasn't sharp and precise. It was comfortably rounded, almost blunt. He watched his companion submit willingly to the sharpener's metallic bite, emerging sleek and ready for crisp lines and perfect letters. A deep, instinctive tremor ran through his cedarwood body whenever the sharpener was picked up. Fear wasn't quite right. It was a profound sense that being whittled away to a fine point would erase something essential, something uniquely him. He couldn't explain it, but the conviction was solid as the graphite core within him. He simply knew sharpening was wrong for him. One bright Tuesday, a large, warm hand reached into the cup. Fingers bypassed the sharp, shiny pencils and closed around Pebble. His heart, if a pencil has one, hammered against his wood. He was lifted towards the dreaded sharpener, its small metal opening like a dark, hungry mouth. As the tip touched the opening, a surge of pure refusal, silent but immense, flooded Pebble. He went utterly stiff. The hand pushed gently, nothing pushed harder. Pebble remained rigid, unyielding. The human hand paused. Puzzled, a sigh ruffled the air above him. Stubborn little thing, aren't you? Murmured the voice, and Pebble was unceremoniously dropped back into the cup. Deemed useless, shame washed over him, hot and prickly, as the other pencils seemed to subtly shift away from that day. Pebble was an outcast, ignored by the writer, avoided by the other pencils who feared association with failure. He was eventually exiled to the dark, dusty back corner of the desk drawer. Forgotten days blurred into weeks, filled with the scent of old paper and rubber bands. He lay amongst paperclips like cold, metallic snakes and dried-up erasers, listening to the muffled sounds of the world above. The scritch-scratch of his kin creating stories. The satisfying twist of the sharpener loneliness was a heavy blanket. He questioned his refusal. Had it been foolishness? Was he truly broken? Yet, deep within that smooth, unsharpened tip, a quiet ember of certainty still glowed. He hadn't been wrong. He was waiting. Months later, the drawer screeched open violently. Startling Pebble. Daylight streamed in, not the calm hand of the writer, but a smaller, trembling hand belonging to a young girl, her eyes red-rimmed from crying. Rummaged desperately through the clutter, she muttered about a ruined picture, about needing something. Now her fingers brushed past Pebble, then returned, grasping him. "Oh, you'll do," she breathed. Not caring about his bluntness, she scrambled out, slamming the drawer shut behind her. Pebble felt the frantic energy in her grip, saw the tear-stained sketchbook laid out before him. A beautiful drawing of a cat was marred by a huge, dark, accidental scribble right across its face. Despair radiated from the girl. The girl didn't reach for the sharpener. Instead, she pressed Pebble's beautifully smooth, broad, rounded tip firmly against the paper, right onto the dark scribble. She began to move him, not in lines, but in soft, swirling, smudging motions. Pebble gasped inwardly. This was it. This was the purpose his bluntness had saved him for. His broad tip glided effortlessly, absorbing the harsh darkness of the scribble, blending it, softening it. The girl used his unique shape to push the graphite, creating soft shadows, gentle for textures and depth around the cat's eyes. His bluntness wasn't a flaw. It was the perfect tool for spreading and shaping light and dark, for healing the picture with softness. Where the scribble had been a scar, Pebble helped create a masterpiece of moody twilight. The cat now looked out from the page with mysterious, shaded eyes, surrounded by soft, velvety darkness that felt intentional and beautiful. The girl's tears stopped. A slow, amazed smile spread across her face. "It's better," she whispered, stroking the textured shadows Pebble had helped create. It's magical. From that day, Pebble wasn't just used. He was cherished. The artist sought him specifically for blending skies, creating soft shadows, adding ethereal texture. The other pencils watched in newfound respect. The sharpener was never his Destiny, his refusal, had saved him for something far more wondrous. The gentle art of the smudge years past Pebble grew shorter, but his beautifully rounded tip, carefully preserved, remained his crown. He lived a life filled with creation, not of sharp lines, but of soft transitions and whispered emotions on paper. He saw generations of sharp pencils come and go when he was finally too small to hold. The artist, now a woman, placed him tenderly not in the trash, but in a small box labeled treasures. She sometimes showed him to students, telling the story of the pencil who knew his own worth. And sometimes, late at night, if you listened very closely near the old desk, you might hear the faint, contented sigh of a little pencil who refused to be sharp, and in doing so, discovered the profound power of being perfectly, beautifully blunt. His legacy wasn't in points, but in the softness he brought to the world.